ready, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Bell, raise your right hand for me, sir.
And Your Honor, before we go, I do want to state that Mr. Bell does have 4 cases.
I'm clear. I wrote them down when I called him the first time.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bell, you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true. Mr. Bell,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Bell, you're before the court on case 2022 CR 05833.
Your Honor, we'll be pleading
you-
not guilty in that case.
Okay, probably a good idea. 2022 CR 07729.
Your Honor, we'll also be pleading not guilty in that case.
Okay, 202. Okay, 2023 CR 01359.
That's also a not guilty, Your Honor.
2023 CR 07436.
That will be a no-lo plea, Your Honor.
No Nolo.
I'm with Miss Janvier on this. First of all, we could have done this for 3 not guilties and a prayer. We could have done this at the beginning of the calendar, number 1. And number 2, I know y'all didn't waste all this time trying to check and see if he could get a permit to drive with this foolishness. Let's go over this. A DUI, 2 open containers, driving on a suspended or revoked license. That's the first case. No license, suspended registration. He got everything wrong with a car document wise that you could possibly have in the first case. Second case, driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license. A license is just a suggestion to Mr. Bell.
Your Honor, he is still trying to fight those other 3 cases.
Well, he can fight them. We'll try them back to back to back. But all it's going to take is for somebody to look up the Department of Driver Services and verify that he don't have no license. So, you planning on doing a guilty on this last case?
I don't know if I can talk, can I?
You can.
You can put your hand down, sir. You already been sworn in. What you want to tell me?
I want the request to talk, which case are we going, the fleeing and the driving under suspended? Okay, that wasn't a no-no, that you said that they dismissed that.
No, they didn't dismiss any of the 4 cases, and the state is not going to accept a no-lo on anything, and I'm inclined to agree with the state.
Okay.
I'm not accepting a no-lo.
What I was saying was, as case number 2023 CRO 7436, he told me that the state would dismiss driving with no license because I have a valid license. And they just told him I have a valid license right now. I have a valid license.
The state isn't saying they won't still do that. They're just not accepting a no-lo plea.
No, I know. You said not no-lo, you said dismiss, not
Mr.
no-lo.
Bell, let me just end this conversation right here.
I'm so
Even
confused.
though you have let me explain. Even though you have a valid license, as soon as you enter a guilty plea, it's going to suspend that license.
I understand that, ma'am. I definitely understand that.
Okay, so do you
I
want to
take-
enter a guilty plea, or do you want to do not guilty, and let's try them all together?
So, but they charged me with no license when I came into jail. My license is valid when I came into jail. That's all. I'm just asking. I don't want to aggravate nobody. I promise. I've just been sitting there thinking. I only had so much time.
So, sir, when they charge you, when they arrest you, then you go through the process of having your case reviewed by the solicitor's office, which is the prosecuting arm of the court. The solicitor's office can then make different charging decisions based on the information provided by the arresting officer in any investigation that they do. Upon review of all of the information and evidence that they have, they can make different charging decisions. They can charge you with what you were originally charged with, or they can charge with additional charges, or they can charge you with both the original charges, the additional charges, or they can remove charges that were originally charged and place new charges on you. So it is their decision about what to charge you with. If they found that the no license wasn't appropriate and it was more appropriate to charge you with driving on a suspended or revoked license, they can charge you with both and see which one pans out.
I'm saying I have a license valid.
I am clear on what you are saying, sir.
So
So driving on a suspended or revoked license.
when my acknowledgement when I was coming.
Your
into-
Honor, hold on. Your Honor, what Mr. Bell is getting at is that after talking with the state regarding the fourth case, it was indicated that Mr. Bell at the time of this case had a valid driver license. So the state was going to no prof counts 1 and 2, and he was going to plead to count 3, Your Honor.
That's my
Okay,
understanding.
but they say they're not accepting a no-low plea to count 3. Is
Yes.
is that correct, Ms. Janvier?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, so is he gonna,
Oh,
Is he
oh,
gonna-
oh, yeah, no problem. I'll plead guilty to fiend. I'm sorry. But I was just saying about the driving on suspended. I'm sorry, man. I misunderstood you. I'm sorry.
all right, so on case 2023 CR 07436, Mr. Bell, you're before the court for driving on a suspended or revoked license, count 1, no license, count 2, fleeing from the police, count 3. You're entering a plea of guilty to count 3. By entering a plea of guilty to count 3, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. August 19th of 2023, while on duty at 8140 Terra Boulevard in Jonesboro, Georgia, where the incident occurred in Clayton County. The location was a Quick Trip. An officer observed the defendant operating a motor vehicle with a tag light that was not operational. The officer then attempted to initiate a traffic stop, and then the driver began to flee. Let's see. Once the defendant stopped the vehicle, actually, let me back up, Your Honor. So the officer was on Terra Boulevard, and when he initiated the traffic stop with the defendant pulled into the Quick Trip. Once he pulled into the Quick Trip, he then fled on foot. The officer pursued the defendant, gave him several verbal commands to stop running and get on the ground. He failed to comply. The officer then drew their taser and attempted to tase the defendant, and after 2 attempts was unable to. The officer continued to pursue the defendant, and eventually the defendant was apprehended in the backyard of a house on Dixon Road. The defendant was placed into custody and then was later identified as Mr. Bell. And while the officer conducted an GCIC check, determined his license was suspended. That's it. He was taken into custody. So this is the second plea that the defendant has had, and by statute, it is required to have a minimum fine of $2,500. And the state is recommending 120 days, 12 months to serve 120 days. Balance probated.
Mr. White?
Your Honor, as the state stated that the minimum for a fleeing in this case is 90 days. However, the state is asking for 120. Your Honor, we would ask that Mr. Bell only be allowed to serve the 90 days. Of course, Mr. Bell has plenty of other cases that he's going to have to deal with going forward in the future. And initially, the recommendation was comprised of both, of course, a suspended license and a fleeing, but now the suspended license and no license have been taken away. We would just simply ask that you allow him to serve only 90 days, Your Honor.
Janvier?
Your Honor, given that the defendant has several cycles, I believe we're at 47.
Excuse me?
47 cycles. I believe that the 120 days was lenient considering the circumstances, Your Honor, and this is not the first time that the defendant has attempted to flee.
Mr. Bell, how old are you, sir?
I'm 40 years old, man. I just turned 40 years old on August 20th.
Mr. Bell, when you gonna decide to give up all the foolishness?
Ma'am, I'll be
No,
honest.
no,
with
no,
you,
no, 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 no. I want you to think before you speak.
You
You got 4 cases in front of me right now.
absolutely.
You're not thinking. You listening to reply instead of listening to hear what I'm saying to you. Orange is not your color. You need to stop this foolishness. Fleeing from the police. Okay, the document charges, that may be an unfortunate financial situation. Oh, I can't pay such something, or I can't pay my child support. But when you determine that you're going to flee from the police, that is a choice that you are making, sir. Then it is a bad choice. There have been whole families killed because somebody decided to flee from the police. And so at 40 years old, sir, when you going to stop doing dumb stuff?
Ma'am,
No, don't apologize to me. You ain't do nothing to me but waste my time. What you have done, sir, is ruin your life because you got 47 cycles. I don't know who in the world would hire you. You can't drive for nobody. You can't do Uber. Nobody's going to trust you with anything. You flee from the police. I mean, really? You're messing up your own life, sir. You should be apologizing to yourself. Do you have children?
Yes, ma'am. I have several.
Definitely need to apologize to them because with 47 cycles, you've been in jail so much, they probably don't even know you. They probably more familiar with your mugshot than they are with you.
Ma'am, I just want to say I've been changed. I'm not perfect, but I've been changed. And I think because of my past history.
Which one of these 2023 cases?
Huh?
I said, you've been changed since which one of these 2023 cases? Did the change happen just recently?
I have took, can I have 1 second just to say what I took DUI class. I took the defensive driving, risk reduction, habitual violator, drug treatment. I paid $2,000 reinstatement fee. I had toxic lock in my car for 6 months from June to December. I have had my license back since 12/11/22. I had my license legit since driving legitly from June last year to June this year, and from June to now, that's 4 months. That's 16 months that I've been driving on the road without no DUIs or anything like that. I understand my past. I came from Massachusetts, and it's a lot different in Massachusetts than it is out here. I had to learn Georgia ways, and I made a lot of mistakes, but I have been changed, but it doesn't happen in one day. I have 6 children, and I understand about jobs. I want to drive trucks because I'm strong and I can move stuff, but at the same time, my record's not right to drive trucks. And I realize that now that I'm 40 years old. With the fact that I'm still healthy and stuff like that, sometimes I have to recognize my age, but I've been changed. What in the world happened to the screen? Yeah, I have been changed, and like I just want to get this stuff behind me. I know even though I got my license back that I'm still going to have to go to court and I'm going to have to deal with these stuff. I want to get me somebody that I can sit down and I can explain the certain classes that I took and have more time so I can deal with it more responsibly. I have 6 children. Like I just had a child in March, Little Olympics in March, my son. And my children know me. They're taken care of. I take care of my kids. You know, I put them before me. I understand the things that I have done before when I didn't have a license. But since I got that license back, I ain't been catching no DUIs. I haven't been going to no clubs and going home or to no place to get nothing to eat and drinking or anything like that. I've been respecting it, especially because I went through all this stuff. And I don't never want to go through this stuff again. I swear to God, I don't want to go through it. But I've been sitting here and I haven't been complaining because I know what I've done. And I just want to daggone get it behind me. I'm old. I got gray hairs in my face. I'm not trying to do this no more. I have no reason to come in front of you no more for nothing. But I can't change what I did. I took all these classes so I can fix it. I sat in front of all these people on live at my house, and I know the people at DUI class, the defensive job. GDS knows me very well. They were sitting there, Miss Bell, you gotta go take this. They know me by first and last name.
All right, would you say, Miss John VA, is the minimum required?
It's 90 days, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Bell, since you still got to work to pay the fines and fees, I'm gonna give you 12 months to serve 90 days. Balance will be probated for you to pay a fine in the amount of $2,500. I don't even know what the surcharge is on that because I've never had anybody had to pay $2,500 before, but I can assure you that it's gonna be somewhere past $3,000.
I can take care of it.
All right, I hope you do. Mr. Bell, if you do anything in life, please make sure you sit down with your 6 kids and share with them the mistakes you made so they don't make the same mistakes.
Absolutely.
Don't cover it over, don't sugarcoat it, be very transparent. Daddy messed up. This is how I messed up. Please do not do the same things I've done because them 47 cycles have kept me out of being a good parent. Every time I've had to go to court, every time I've had to go to jail.
Yeah, I'm trying to instill understanding in them. That's my purpose of why I went through my stuff, so I could put understanding in them.
Well, if you feel like you're gonna make your testimony, that's fine. I'm cool with that. But you still, having children, and having the children and the fixing your life is running neck and neck. I'm trying to figure out which is going to win. So please make sure that you tell your kids that this is not the way you're supposed to conduct yourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you can go back with the sheriff's office. You'll meet with probation.
Thank you.
All right. Come on, Mr. Boykin. Thank you. Mr. Boykin, you're Arthur Boykin Jr. charged with registering a limo or taxi violation. Sir, did you need an attorney to help you with that, or did you just want to hear from the state and see what their recommendation is?
What I wanted to represent myself in that case because I'm dealing with a civil right. You went off.
It's fine. It's good. It's just crazy. You're good.
You can represent yourself, sir.
I'm actually exercising my constitutional rights under the First Amendment, the Free Exercise Clause.
Okay. Mr. Kotoroka, what does the state recommend on that case?
Yes, Your Honor. I will get the recommendation very soon.
I plead not guilty now.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm pleading not guilty.
All right, so you want a trial?
Yes.
Okay, did you want a trial before a judge or a trial before a judge and a jury?
I guess when I'm dealing with my rights for is a freedom of worship, I want to deal with, I guess I'll be better with a jury, my understanding.
Okay, freedom of worship, sir? This is a taxi limousine case.
No, actually, this is a unprecedented situation that I'm dealing with right now because it's dealing with my. Let me just read something for you right quick.
I can't hear you. You're turning away from the video.
Let me read something to you right quick.
No, sir. Just tell me, because this case doesn't seem to involve religion that I'm aware of. It's just a taxi limo case.
See, Your Honor, what I'm saying is that I'm separating myself from this government. I'm exercising my constitutional right of free, the First Amendment, the separation of church and state, free exercise. See, what I'm saying, Your Honor, is that I'm exercising my right. I got to rule down. I can be better explaining what I got to rule down because it's somewhat complicated.
No, it's not complicated, sir. I did 3 years of law school and 4 years of undergrad. I got it. You're on this fringe where people are telling you to say all these things and your case will get dismissed. It's really much simpler than that.
I'm not on that.
It is really just, you got a ticket for not having your taxi or limousine registered. Do you want to have a trial about that where the state would have to prove that that is the case? Or do you want to hear what their recommendation is and you might be eligible for a no-low plea?
I want to. I'm actually, is this religious matter, ma'am?
How is it religion? Were you driving the church bus?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. In other
Okay.
words, listen, in other words, Congress shall make no law respecting.
No, sir. How is you driving the taxi or limousine a religious matter? If you wasn't driving the church bus, was you ferrying the Pope somewhere?
Okay, then what I'm doing, I'm separating myself.
No, sir, that's not how this works. You misunderstand what that means.
Okay.
And I'm just be honest with you. 3 years of law school. I'm a second generation lawyer. My mama's a lawyer. My uncle's a lawyer. And I'm telling you, you are misunderstanding how that works. What I'm saying to you is you got a ticket for not having your taxi registered. It don't have nothing to do with religion or your free exercise of religion.
Okay.
Now, if you were driving the church bus, we might have an argument.
Ma'am, step out.
Okay, ma'am, I'm trying to get a good understanding. In other words, the free exercise clause.
No, sir, it's not the same thing. That's not what that was meant for. You get to exercise your religion however you want to do it, but that don't have nothing to do with you driving a taxi or a limousine. You have picked up a copy of the Constitution and you trying to make it fit what you think it fits, but that is not. They got people who've been doing this for thousands of years. That's not how that works. No, from your understanding, but you don't clearly understand how it works. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay. You either did drive a taxi without registering it or you didn't. That's all I'm looking for. It doesn't have nothing to do with who you worship. So did you want a trial before me or a jury?
I'm trying to think right now because it's really a religious matter, but you can't.
It's not, sir. It's really not. Ms. John VA, Mr. Kotoroka Yedem, what's the recommendation on this case?
Your Honor, it's gonna be a $200 fine.
Okay, the fine would be $200. Is he no-low eligible?
Yes, Your Honor.
You could enter a no contest plea saying that you're not guilty, but you don't contest it. The fine would be $200. It'll be $298 with the surcharges. I would give you up to 60 days to pay it. Otherwise, we're going to trial on this.
It's got to deal with it. Well, I'm gonna.
Because you just can't pick up the Constitution and think you can practice law.
I know I can't, Your Honor,
but that's what you're trying to do, sir. It's don't have nothing to do with religion, and the mere fact that you keep bringing up religion and the free expression of and free association, that tells me you're very confused. So now, did you want to take a plea, a no-low plea, or did you want to go to trial?
What is a no-low plea? Tell me what a no-low plea.
It means that you don't contest it. You know the state has evidence that they could use in a trial against you, and you're not contesting that evidence, but you're also not entering a guilty plea.
Okay, I go with that because I'm not entering a guilty plea. All
right, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. By entering a plea of no-low to violation of the taxi limo regulation, you give up a right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And Mr. Boykin, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Did you understand all of those things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Factual basis, please, Mr. Cook, if you get them.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred on 22nd February 2021, between the intersection of Highway 85 and Bethesda Road. Your Honor, the officer observed defendant driving his vehicle, a limo vehicle without a special license plate on the taxi. Your Honor, the officer cited defendant for registration violation. That's the factual basis. Your Honor, the state recommendation will be a $200 fine.
All right. So, Mr. Boykin, I'll fine you $200. I'll give you 60 days in which to pay. If you wanted to pay it today, that's fine. With the surcharges, it's going to be closer to $300. It'll be $298. What I need you to do now, sir, is when you leave the courtroom, go down one floor to the second floor. At the second floor, when you come back through the double doors into the hallway, go to your left. You'll see the traffic court window. They'll give you your paperwork and they will explain everything about when you need to pay and how you need to pay. Okay?
Okay then, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.